You're tuned into Drama Drip, your go-to source for the juiciest TV entertainment buzz. Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. The unstoppable Sammy Brady is about to storm back into Salem with some major revelations. She's set to make a splashy announcement at the upcoming Horton Clinic Gala. She's engaged. But the million-dollar question is, who's the lucky guy? It's Belinda here from Drama Drip, and we're digging into the mystery of Sammy's fiancé, the man who managed to capture her heart and slip that ring on her finger. Before we dive deep, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and tap like to show some love. Alright, let's jump in. According to official Days spoilers, Sammy Brady's return to Salem comes with a few major reasons. First off, she's got a new grandbaby to meet, Trey, aka Johnny and Chanel's little one, who they sweetly named John Roman DiMera III. Her second reason? She's attending the grand opening of the Tom Horton Free Clinic. And lastly, the big bombshell, Sammy's announcing that she's engaged. That one came out of nowhere since she didn't mention dating anyone the last time she was in town over the summer. It's exciting news though. Sammy's been a fan favorite for decades, even if she hasn't had a steady storyline on the show lately. But that's not Days' fault. Alison Sweeney made that call herself. She's been swamped filming Hallmark movies and juggling other projects. So whenever she does come back, she sweeps through Salem like a hurricane, stirs up chaos, and then vanishes until her next whirlwind visit. So let's rewind a bit. Remember when Sammy came back to Salem earlier this year? She was there to console Johnny after he found out that E.J. DiMera had blackmailed his mother into bed. Meaning Johnny's conception was basically the result of coercion. It was a heavy, emotional moment. Then, when John Black passed away, Sammy showed up again, though she missed the funeral, to comfort her mom, Marlena. She also stepped up to support Johnny when he faced trial for the attempted murder of his father, EJ. But as always, Hurricane Sammy couldn't stick around for long. She left town again to care for her daughter Sydney, who'd broken her leg and needed surgery. Now fast forward to the present. Sammy's about to make landfall in Salem once again. The last time she stayed for more than a few episodes, she was caught in a wild storyline after being kidnapped. She had no idea that her own ex, Lucas Horton, was the culprit. Lucas, terrified that Sammy might run back to EJ, took matters into his own hands, literally. He kidnapped her, then framed EJ for it, and later pretended to rescue her so he could play the hero. Of course, the truth exploded at the absolute worst time. Right as Lucas and Sammy were about to say their vows. Just as the officiant prepared to pronounce them husband and wife, Chad burst through the chapel doors and dropped the bombshell. Lucas was the kidnapper. Sammy, furious and heartbroken, called off the wedding on the spot. Lucas landed in Statesville prison for his crimes, though he's been out for a while now. That whole debacle was Sammy's last known romance, and the last time we saw her engaged. So let's rewind a bit. Remember when Sammy came back to Salem earlier this year? She was there to console Johnny after he found out that E.J. DiMera had blackmailed his mother into bed. Meaning Johnny's conception was basically the result of coercion. It was a heavy, emotional moment. Then when? Now, with the 60th anniversary of Days of Our Lives right around the corner, it makes perfect sense for Sammy to make her grand return. Her comeback lines up perfectly with the big celebration and the elegant Tom Horton Free Clinic Gala. And that's when she's expected to drop her engagement bombshell. But of course, everyone's wondering, who's the man? Is Sammy's new fiancé someone from her past? Or has she found a completely new love? Well, let's start by ruling out a few names. First, I'm almost certain it's not Rafe Hernandez. Sure, he and Sammy shared a short-lived marriage and had a couple of post-divorce flings, but that was ages ago. These days, Rafe's been flying solo ever since his engagement to Jada Hunter crashed and burned. Unless he's been sneaking around for some top-secret off-screen rendezvous with Sammy, it's safe to say that flame's out. Too bad for Rafe, though. He really could use a woman in his life again. Next up, E.J. DiMera. I can confidently say Sammy's not walking down the aisle with him either. He's knee-deep in some shady lab business tied to that clinic. Plus he's still hopelessly hung up on Sammy's sister, Belle Black. Remember when EJ lost Belle after that courtroom stunt during Johnny's trial? He tried to cause a mistrial by outing their affair, and it completely backfired. Despite Belle rejecting him again and again, he's still carrying a torch for her. Sammy, of course, wasn't thrilled when Belle started dating EJ. She had plenty of harsh words for her little sister over that one. And while EJ will probably always love Sammy, it's clear she's not about to rekindle that mess. Their few recent run-ins have shown the same pattern. He still cares, she still bristles. So yeah, EJ's definitely a long shot. Okay, now let's talk about Austin Reed. Longtime Days fans remember that Sammy had a major crush on him back in the day. But Austin's heart was always with her sister, Carrie Brady. We don't need to get into every messy detail, but let's just say Sammy did some pretty questionable things while trying to win Austin over. At one point, she even drugged him, which led to a terrible incident she later admitted to Johnny during her spring visit. As far as we know, Austin is still happily married to Carrie and living it up in Europe, so he's clearly off the table as Sammy's fiancé. Another name from her past to consider is Brandon Walker, Abe Carver's oldest son, played years ago by Matt Sadowski. Brandon hasn't been seen in Salem since 2005. That's nearly 20 years. He and Sammy had a rocky relationship back in the day, including a brief marriage. And remember the drama with Kate Roberts? She actually drugged both Brandon and Sammy, landing them in bed together while Sammy was still seeing Lucas. Obviously, Kate was scheming to break them up. Brandon eventually left town, leaving Sammy to deal with the aftermath of Kate's meddling. So if we're talking about a past flame returning, the most likely candidate is probably Lucas Horton. He's been off-screen for quite some time, so there's room for a little off-camera reconciliation. Maybe Sammy couldn't resist those signature dimples after all. Here's where it gets really interesting. We've also heard that Brian DiTillo is back for the November sweeps and the 60th anniversary of Days of Our Lives. If you caught the extended summer and fall promos, you may have even spotted Lucas making a cameo. Could this mean Sammy is finally going to remarry Lucas? I mean, think about it. He'd be absolutely thrilled if that's true. But of course, if Lucas is really her fiancé, you can bet Kate Roberts is going to lose it. She's always done everything possible to keep Lucas Awa.